lovely. So today we're going to talk about adolescence and the impact that adolescence can have on your training and your relationship with your dog, because it's no coincidence that there is a huge number of very young, often male Chihuahuas in rescues or up for rehoming, because adolescence can be quite testing for your relationship. Now, if you've had children, then you probably know what I mean. The same principle in adolescence for children is the same for dogs. Adolescence starts about 6 to 18 months, and this is the same for all breeds. It's no less the same for young Chihuahuas, okay? Just because they're small doesn't mean this isn't coming to a puppy near you. So adolescence is on its way from about 6 months on. So it's quite often a very testing, difficult time for the owner and the dog, because the dog's emotional brain is developing faster than their thinking brain. So again, if you've had children, you'll be familiar with this impulse control, this lack of consequences, very fast reactions, react now, think later kind of attitude. And it's no different for our dogs. The emotional brain is developing fast. And our training seems to disappear because our dog is hardwired to take risks. It's hardwired to explore. It wants to make in its wild head, I guess, strange way of putting it, but you know what I mean. It would be, if it was living in the wild, it would be thinking, am I going to stay with my current pack, or am I going to go off and start my own? So they are going to be testing boundaries. They're going to be interested in other dogs when you're out and about. They're going to be interested in different situations when you're out and about. Things that maybe they'd have been a bit calmer, they would have been able to ignore. So your dog is noticing everything, okay? Their brain is noticing distractions, it's scanning, and the dog's arousal level is a lot higher. Um, and these bigger feelings that our dog has is obviously going to create bigger behavior. So things that you had sorted as a puppy, that your dog was, yeah, I'll do this. I'm really keen to please you, and I'll do anything you like, suddenly go out the window when you've got an adolescent dog. So that could be barking, that could be reacting to things that they probably would have ignored as a puppy. That could be pulling more frustration, and just generally a high arousal kind of vibe. Now, one of the things that starts to create a problem with this is, because it is quite testing, is that people move to a more authoritarian or punishment-based training method because the dog is being annoying. So they increase the authority, they increase the punishment-based training methods. But why this is a bad idea is because your dog is currently testing to see whether you have any value. Is the value with you, or is the value elsewhere? Is the value with a new pack, is in its head? So they are testing your value. Is the value with you? And if you move to a more autocratic, more punishment-based training methods, you are basically confirming to the dog that it's not. The value isn't with you. The value is over there. So we think about our relationship with our dog as a bank account, and all the positive training and the work that you did with your dog as a puppy is all really great stuff that's paying into and topping up your relationship bank account. Things that don't go so well, or punishment-based methods, are a huge withdrawal from that bank account. That bank account is your relationship. Um, Adolescence is going to be a withdrawal in itself, but we don't want to add into that by adding in a more punishment-based training method. So, what can we do in order to help our Chihuahua through this difficult time? Um, the first thing is you need to build on success. Okay. Now, understand that your dog isn't being naughty, it's just where their brain is at the moment. So, we are going to go back a step, and we are going to work with our dog where they can succeed. So we are not going to pile the training on in the hope that we suppress our dog. We are going to go back a step and we're going to make it easier for them to succeed. We are going to make it easier for them to see the value is with you, and we're going to make it easier for them to be optimistic around their training and around their relationship. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to try and save them from themselves, because we know our dog is going to be pushing the boundaries, is going to be quick to go and investigate something. They very quickly could put themselves in a situation that they don't have the skills for. I am going to go and investigate that dog over there, and then that dog does not welcome this interaction, and then you're a negative interaction happens. Now, a negative interaction can have a lifelong impact on a small dog like a Chihuahua. We call those flashbulb memories, and that can create reactivity from that point onwards. Okay, flashbulb memories happen very quickly, but they're an absolute bugger to unpick. So we are going to look at how we can save our dogs from themselves. And to do that, we're going to employ management. Okay. We're going to look at how we manage our dog in order for them not to make these mistakes that they are going to feel inclined to go and test, which could then impact us later on. So we would not be putting them in such challenging environments where they can't cope. We are not going to be piling on the training. We're going to be putting them in training situations where they can succeed and where they can be optimistic. And if we need to keep our dog on the lead when we're out and about, then keep them on the lead temporarily. Keeping them under more control, if it prevents an issue from arising, then do that. Although keeping them on the lead does not mean using a flexi lead. Flexi leads are not training your dog. They have you if you have your dog on a flexi lead, you do not have your dog under control. They can still disappear 20 foot across the field and get involved with another dog, and then all you've done is introduced a cord that will not break into the mix. Okay, if your dog needs to be on lead, they need to be on a shortish lead by your side, or a training puppy line by your side, but not something that allows them to disappear and be away from your control. So we are going to start managing our dogs and saving them from themselves. We're going to be increasing their optimism by putting them in less challenging situations so they can succeed. Next thing to think about is sleep. Okay, growing is exhausting, learning is exhausting. And again, if you've got teenage children, you will be familiar with this, but apply that to your dog as well. Make sure that they are getting ample active rest. And active rest is a rest where all the opportunities to make decisions have been taken away from your dog. This is why crates are so useful, pens are useful, and cozy rooms and beds are useful, not just lying on the sofa where they've got one ear cocked waiting for a trigger to set them off again. So increase the amount of sleep that your dog gets in order for them to process their learning, in order for them to grow, and for any healing to take place from running around. It helps them shift from a sympathetic nervous state, which is this high energy flight or flight state, to a parasympathetic nervous state, which is calmness, which is healing, digestion, and learning. And last but not least, it's your relationship is more important than obedience. You're going to have this dog for hopefully 18 years plus. Your relationship is important. So you are going to focus on keeping your dog engaged with you, keeping your dog safe as they go through this difficult and challenging stage of their life. You are going to keep them optimistic, easy wins, and you are going to keep topping up your relationship with optimism and games and growing that value of being with you rather than piling on the obedience, the more learning, and the autocratic style of training your dog. The thing to hang on to when you have an adolescent dog is it's temporary. You will get your dog back, but how much work you put in at this stage will have a massive impact on the dog that you get further down the line. So you have your puppy that's full of the joys of spring and wants to work with you and wants to please you. You have your adolescent dog where things are going to get a little bit spicy. This is where you need to put the work, because if you break your relationship here, you are going to have a broken relationship further down the line. So I hope you found that useful. If you've got any questions about adolescence, please put them in the comments and I will come back to you. As ever, please give us the thumbs up and like and subscribe to our channel, because it helps us spread the positive training message and it helps me get this message about positive training to as many Chihuahua owners as possible.